Have you lost your faith in humanity? I know I have. Let's fix that with another episode of Extremely Happy Stories. 12-year-old uses Boy Scout know-how to rescue lost couple and injured dog on hike. Captivating. It's the textbook beginning of a nightmare. Lost on a hike trail with no water and an injured dog too heavy to carry. That is not a good combination. Fortunately for the family of 3 this story happened to, they literally ran into a Boy Scout. I mean, if you're in the wilderness and you aren't looking for merit badges, but you're looking for survival, then a Boy Scout is a good person to find. For JD, Amy, and their dog Smokey, a 2-mile hike had become a 7-mile disaster. Their phone was dead, and it was getting dark. That's when they came across 12-year-old David King and his mom Christine. We asked, "Oh, do you need any help?" And they said, "Yeah, we do." They showed us that the dog's paws had some cuts on it. When the dog would walk, it would just be really painful. David was just 3 miles short of getting his 15-mile hike merit badge, but despite having done that and played a soccer match earlier in the day, David did what all Boy Scouts do. They lent a hand. First, he suggested they build a stretcher by using 2 lengths of wood and stringing their t-shirts across it. Oh, there we go. A technique David had learned from his Eagle Scout older brother. It was his idea to make the stretcher, said Christine. We didn't think it would work because we didn't think the dog would get onto the stretcher. Smokey was just happy to, and we just carried him out. Someone, presumably David, knew the way back to the parking lot as well, and so they all worked together, sometimes in 2s, sometimes in 4s, to get Smokey to safety, who despite his injuries, occasionally hopped off to give some relief to the exhausted hikers. Oh, little puppy, he still wants to help, but he can't help because his paws all hurt, but he still wants to help. David would later take the opportunity to tell the news, when you're off on a hike, a good way to be prepared is to imagine what can go wrong and plan for that. Good on you, David. Ho! I was a Boy Scout for a couple of months, and I learned how to yo-yo. Oh, but this kid knows how to build a makeshift stretcher out of some sticks and t-shirts to save a family and their dog. I mean, that's the Boy Scout that I had aspired to in the past. I don't aspire to be a Boy Scout anymore, but I still like to be able to help somebody who needs some help. I mean, that's really cool. Good on you, David. Woman falls down mountain, writes hilarious review for leggings, giving them 5 stars. A woman was so impressed by a pair of leggings after she tumbled down a mountain that she posted an Amazon review that has gone viral. Corey H. posted photos of herself sprawled on rocky slopes, saying there was not even a hole in the pants after the accident. Her photographic testimony spurred over 18,000 shoppers to mark her review as helpful. The Amazon user enthusiastically left a 5-star rating for the Ray Pose exercise leggings, which cost $13.99, encouraging others to order them now. Right now, no delay. Right now is the most important thing in the world. If there's a dog stranded with his cut feet and 2 owners in the woods, pass them, just go straight home, order these things, and wait for them to come in the mail. Just sit by the door. That's it. Now, she wrote, can I just say that I will be reordering them in all the colors, every color. Here's me rolling and sliding down a mountain because I was too scared to get up. My leggings did not rip, not even a little bit, and I got stuck on rocks. Oh, and trees. Screenshots of the amusing review were posted on Twitter last week, racking up more than 400,000 likes. That's a lot of likes. I think about this twice per week. In response, another reviewer posted her own photo of leggings in action, mimicking the image in amusing fashion by laying sprawled on her own hill. Mountain sliding legging lady was right, Kimberly wrote. That's just funny. I mean, you need a little levity. You need to be able to laugh at yourself. You need to be able to post that picture online and let everybody else laugh at you too. But you know, on the inside, they're realizing that is probably them, or it could have been them in another life or in this life, and they're just they're laughing with you. They're not laughing at you. They're like, you know what, I understand. I completely understand. And I think we've all fallen down a hill one time in life, and sometimes you just you gotta come together at the campfire of falling down hills. Sometimes you get holes and sometimes you don't get holes, and you know, you just gotta roll with the hole. Photo of firefighter reading a book to little girl after car crash warms hearts on the internet. A photo taken by a bystander in Montana captured the touching scene of a firefighter reading a book to a little girl on the street, taking her mind off the trauma of their family's car crash. It was nighttime about a month ago when the Billings Fire Department responded to the 2-vehicle accident, sirens blaring. While the crews and the girl's parents were busy with tow trucks and police reports, firefighter Ryan Benton took a book out of their fire engine and started reading to her on the curb. This allowed her to calm calmed down and allowed the parents the ability to focus on getting some sense of normality back after the traumatic event, like an accident. Sweetest thing ever, said Allie Marie Schmaltz. We've learned after news reports that the Billings fire responders always carry book bags to give to children in traumatic situations. Oh, look at that. That's so nice. That's so nice. Just always thinking about the little kids. The bags contained a stuffed animal, a book about firefighters, and other books that can soothe a young child's mind. Julie Engel later wrote on the Billings firefighters Facebook page, saying how grateful she was for the compassionate practice. A few years ago, we experienced the firefighters giving my kids stuffed animals after a fire. My girls remember that more than the fire. Oh, you removed the trauma with furry fuzzies. There's no more trauma of the fire. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's a little bit, but it's like there's less trauma versus the good. That's like, that never happens. You always have the trauma and the fear and the anxiety like trumping over any of the good. But in that time, the little stuffed animals just like washed all that away. And now they don't even remember things. They're like, oh mom, I love these stuffed animals. They're my favorite. I give them names and we play with them. And the mom's like, do you remember where you got them? You're like, no, but I love you stuffed animals so much. And the mom's just like, I'm not going to tell you that you were in a fire and it was really traumatic and we lost everything. And you just had these two little stuffed animals called to your name and it's nothing else. And then clothes on your back and that's about it. And everything else got lost. But you have these two, so I'm just going to leave it at that. It was definitely something we will always be thankful for, I'm sure. Oh my gosh. You remove the trauma of losing everything in a fire with stuffed animals. I mean, the simplicity of children is amazing. Kids are just like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need a roof. I got Teddy. Nope. Americans are almost twice as likely to be satisfied with their lives if they give back. Surprising. That is sarcastic. 90% of Americans in a new survey that have contributed to charity feel better about themselves when they actively give back. In fact, those who do are almost twice as likely to say that they're satisfied with their lives. That is according to a survey of about 2,000 US adults conducted by One Poll ahead of Giving Tuesday. The poll revealed that most people think a good deed is an action that makes someone else feel good or something that benefits an individual, regardless of if the person is personally known to you or not. Over half of responders said that helping someone with a task, donating to someone in need, saying good morning, or even holding a door open for someone are deeds that are likely to transform your own day. In fact, according to 9 out of 10, the best reward may be just doing the deed itself. Can we just all learn about the fact that just contributing to positivity and joy in the world just makes everything better? Even if it's selfishly for yourself. I mean, that's good too, because you're still helping the other person, but you're also just not being a butt yourself in your own life and just taking out on everybody else. You're just become a nicer person. The more nice things you do, the more nice you are, and the more nice that everybody else is, because they're getting help too, and they just feel like loved because everybody's just looking out for each other. That's so special. Come on! The survey found that good deeds are rewarding because of hidden mental and physical health benefits, causing the people who perform them to feel happy, 92%, relaxed, 77%, and healthy, 71%. 3/4 of those polled believe that if they do a good deed, the next person will pay it forward, according to the study commissioned by Walgreens. Respondents donate an average of $168 during the rest of the year, with almost all reporting they donate more during the holiday season than any other times of the year. On average, people donate an extra $404 during the holidays. The vast majority of those who donate are more likely to focus their efforts on local groups rather than a national charity or organizations. 2/3 believe that this will have a bigger impact, and 3 in 5 say it's more trustworthy. I mean, it makes sense if you're doing it to the local groups that you kind of sort of know, or at least are more familiar with. At least it'll make you feel like it could be more trusted. The spirit of giving inspires some to focus on holiday-specific causes, including charities that distribute toys to children in need. 8 in 10 of those surveyed say they're more likely to shop for a specific product or at a particular store when they believe it will benefit a cause they care about. Most rewarding small deeds. I mean, there's so many different ways you can just give and make the world a better place. Just do it. I mean, just do it. It's really just makes you feel so good. It just makes you want to hug yourself and then find somebody else to hug because you just want to spread it. Come on, just start hugging. How do you feel about hugs? Do you like hugs? I like hugs. They're nice. Nope. How this bouncy castle cleans the air and gobbles CO2 while you jump. While nations announce pledges to do more to prevent climate change, one announcement at COP26 was rather more playful. An inflatable bouncy castle, or what we Americans refer to as a moon bounce. I've never referred to them as a moon bounce, as an American myself, a moon bounce. Who doesn't refer to them as bouncy castles? They're castles, and you bounce in them. There's no reference to the moon anywhere. What? Get out of here. Who wrote this? Inflatable bouncy castle blah 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 was debuted as a means to clean the air of CO2 and provide hours of entertainment in the process. Within the inflatable tubes that make up the structure of the moon bounce Get out of the bouncy castle are microscopic algae that feed on carbon and other minerals in the air. The algae actually create a biomass which can be used to make plastic-like material for manufacturing or fuel for certain kinds of electricity production. Wow, that's like intense. The pump that continuously inflates the bouncy castle pulls in the CO2 in the air, and the children's bouncing movements channel it into the algae chambers. It was tested in Poland and went on display early on at the 2021 United Nations Climate Change Conference. Featured on the BBC, this technology could give climate change the most formidable enemy it has yet: the relentless energy of play-hungry schoolchildren. Yeah, I mean, if you don't know about little people, they're just little stars. They're just little fusion reactors, just like burning with so much energy and just exploding everywhere all the time, and probably breaking everything else around them in the process, because that's what they do. They just run and jump and play and scream and jump and some more screaming, and they never stop. They never stop until they just pass out on the floor with their arm behind their head and their foot also behind their head, and drool like running down the upside of their face because there's so much energy that it just pushes it upwards against gravity. That's how powerful children are with how much energy they have. And I have none of it. And I'm hurting because I get no sleep, and I want to sleep, and I wish I could just osmosis it out of the... energy is nice. The end of another recording. The end of another recording. We all need to pick me up in this cold, cruel world. So spread the happy, share this video with someone who needs it, and subscribe so I can keep filling up your stinky black hearts with warm, fuzzy sunshine. Love y'all. Bye.